Okay, once again, joined now by Felix Rosenqvist, who will drive the number 60 Meyer Shank Racing Honda, beginning his seventh season in the NTT INDYCAR Series, the NTT P1 award winner at Long Beach last season, second season now coming up with Meyer Shank Racing. How's Content Day treating you so far? Okay, everything all right? Can we get you a scone? Can we get you a coffee? What would you like?
Scone would be nice.
How much are you looking forward to the new season?
Good. Yeah, it's good to be back. It feels like forever ago. I did anything IndyCar related. So I was also not a married man the last time I
Uh-huh.
drove an IndyCar. So
Uh-huh.
it's a long time ago. So good to be back. No, it feels good. I feel like kind of had a good winter, pretty stress free. Not a lot of traveling. Been hanging out here in Indy mostly, and yeah, happy it's getting closer.
Montoya always said it costs you 2/10 once you get married, so
Oh,
I don't know what
wow.
that means. So,
But you gain a lot of experience.
so there, there you go. Open it up for questions again. We'll begin with those in person, and then time permitting, take some off of Zoom as well. Microphone, Arnie's got it. We'll start with Bruce. Nathan, you got one, and then Ben after that.
You're with Fire Shank Racing, but you also came up through Prema. What can we expect Prema to do their first season since you're one of their star alumni?
Uh, I mean, I think they'll do well for sure. They're very serious with their program. I know them well enough that they wouldn't, take on this project if they didn't want to do it properly. And I think if it's one of the European teams that can actually do it successfully would be them. Saying that, I know it's a tough challenge. I think they have a lot of tough challenges ahead of them. You need people, you need parts, you need relationships. Everything is new. It's just a blank sheet of paper. So yeah, I think probably busier off season for them than some of us others. But we've seen what they can do. So I'm not going to count them away even for this year.
Now, as far as your operation, you're obviously the veteran driver of the group. And, how do you see the driver dynamic? And also, what can we expect to see improvement-wise from Meyer Shank?
Well, it's an exciting time for the team. I have to say, it's actually a very different team to when I joined, because we had a little bit of a middle year last year with the IndyCar being the only program, and now with the IMSA stuff coming along again, it's a lot of people. Like, it's a big team. A lot of things happening, a lot of smart people in the building, and a lot of new faces for me. Even was there for the Christmas party a few weeks ago, and yeah, a lot of faces I haven't seen before. So, but it's exciting. It's a lot of good energy. You can tell that Mike and Jim are hungry. They're always looking ahead, how they can grow, how they can become better, faster. So no, I feel good with my core group kind of being intact. Obviously we have the partnership now with Ganassi, which is exciting. I used to work with those guys 5-6 years back, so a lot of familiar faces there as well. So my pit stand will be pretty much unchanged, but obviously Ross, my new engineer, will be on the stand, and some other people from Ganassi as well. So it's nice to keep most of the consistency, but some new stuff as well. I think we're all pretty excited just to hit the ground running in Sebring for the first test in St. Pete, and should be good, I think.
Nathan.
As you've had a relatively quiet off season to kind of analyze your first season at Meyer Shank Racing, I know there's not a major difference in results, but maybe not quite as many high moments in that latter half of the season last year. Is there anything that you feel like you could attribute just a little bit of a performance and execution difference between the first half of 2024 and the second half?
Yeah, I mean, we had a really strong start of the year. I think we were, if we go back now and look at our ambitions at the time we were sitting here last year, it was like it's kind of like we need to get back in leader circle. That was like pretty much it. And now we're like talking about winning races and podiums. So it's very different going into this year. And I think all that started in the beginning of last year when we had a very strong car. We were fast everywhere. We had really good results initially, and then quite a lot of technical issues. I would say it was kind of like outside of our control for the most part, but a lot of DNFs, stopping on track for different reasons, which, cost a lot. And I feel like we had a little lukewarm part of the like mid-season after the 500. It was a bit stale, didn't really have the same speed. And then I feel like we finished really strong again, like Nashville weekend essentially had a puncture that left us standing again, but we really fast all weekend and kind of left us hungry for the off season. So I think that kind of summarized it. It was too many DNFs, too many technical issues, but the speed was there all year, to be honest. And I think race execution is something I've been trying to work on a lot with, my engineer, with talking already how we can, be a bit more clever on strategy side and race pace and stuff. So I feel like that's where the low hanging fruit is at the moment. And then kind of keeping the good bits from what we already had should be pretty strong.
As you mentioned, you guys showed a lot of speed at certain times in MSR's relationship, technical alliance with Andretti Global last year. You guys now switch over to a similar relationship with Chip Ganassi Racing, where you spent the first 2 years of your career in a team that's won, I think, four out of the last 5 championships. What is your thought about how that could impact and just continue to lift this team up in 2025?
I think it's only positive, and obviously, I would like to thank Andretti for the partnership we had. I was only part of it for 1 year, but I thought it worked really well, and I think it showed that it can work just as well or better with Ganassi, and I think it really helps as well that I know a lot of the faces there. That I think that's one of the hardest things when you step into a new environment. It's just a lot of people you have to get to know. You have to learn who to talk to for different stuff, and that's already kind of there, which hugely helpful. And obviously, Ganassi are they've been the best team. That's I think it's simple as that. The last decade or so. So it's hugely exciting for us. I think we can build something really good. I think it's a long-term thing as well. That's at least the ambition on both sides. And already what I've seen now, it's been very good the way the teams work together and interact. And I feel like they're as hungry as we are to listen to what we have to say about our experiences and vice versa. So it's been very two-sided so far, and kind of the way you want it to. So, but yeah, at some point you need to hit the track, and that's the next step.
Cool. Thanks.
Microphone over to Ben Johnson. Go ahead, Ben.
Thanks, Arnie. Hey, Felix, how are you?
Good, thank you. Yeah.
Felix, obviously you've got a new teammate in Marcus Armstrong this year. How excited are you to have him in the team, given the fact that he has the experience like you have with Ganassi?
Oh, it's good. I think his consistency is good for everyone as well. I think he pretty much has the same, lineup engineering-wise as last year. So effectively the same car, and I think that's good. It helps me as well to talk to him about the car, and maybe look back at it. You go to Barber, you look 2024 Barber. How did you feel in X and Y? It's always helpful the more experience you have. And Marcus, I've known him actually since he was like 14. I actually driver coached him back in the day when he was in Formula 4 in Italy. So no, it's a good guy. We already did some stuff together in the winter, and it's good to have around. I think it's going to be a good vibe. He's pretty relaxed as well. No big drama, so I think we'll get along. Thank you.
Eric Smith.
Last year on this day, you're talking about you moved to Indy. You're really in a good headspace and really wanted to have just kind of that next breakout year. You had a good year, but now you're married. I would assume still living in Indy. Where's your headspace at this year, kind of coming into the 25 season?
I think just building on that, really. I feel more than anything that I've kind of found my base here, as you say. A lot of kind of chaotic years in the past, and I feel like this off season was like more calm than any other year, and I think it's good for you, kind of recharge your energy in the right way, focus on the right things, but also get a break from racing, even if you're here in Indy. I think I was back in Sweden for a week, but I feel like every year I want to spend more time here, which was kind of my goal to be able to say that when I moved over to IndyCar in the first place, because I feel like a lot of us were not from here, and you start traveling back and forth, and but it's cool to really feel that this is becoming like a true home, and also long term, like you're not thinking about moving back or stuff like that. You're just kind of happy to be here, and there's a sense of calm in that. So I love it, and for the racing part, it's obviously very easy as well being here. Everything is kind of close. My engineers are close. Shank is like 2.5 hours away. So yeah, I feel like it's been a great off season, and I'm in a very happy space for sure.
Kurt, thanks, Arnie. Putting your steps in today. Good.
Have you spent time with the Ganassi shop? I mean, are you doing that kind of work too, and kind of describe how that is different maybe than the Andretti relationship, or is it similar?
I'd say it's pretty similar. Maybe like I went to the shop a few weeks ago just to talk to the engineers mainly, but it's not like we go there every day. I would say, to be honest, whatever team you're with, you're not really spending like every day at the shop anyways, but there's probably like a 70% time at Shank and 30% at Ganassi, something like that. And as you would, like my engineer is with Ganassi, so that's the engineer relationship with the driver is probably the closest one, or the one that needs to be the closest to be really successful. So obviously you try to spend a lot of time with them, and but yeah, I say it works pretty similar. Like you have your dedicated guys from Ganassi at the pit stand and mainly engineering, dampers and stuff, and you kind of build that relationship on the pit stand during the year, and then you probably have some meetings to exchange informations with other Ganassi teams like the 9 and the 10 and the 8. Every now and then after like a big stint of weekends to just talk about things, because we're effectively going to act as one unit when it comes to intelligence or data and stuff. So we'll see. We'll kind of see how it builds up and where it lands. I think it's a little bit open still, but we have a rough idea how we want to make it work.
Anyone else? Final call? Try to get you back on schedule. Thanks for coming in. Congratulations on the marriage.
Cheers. Thank you.
See you soon.
See you soon.
See you soon. Again, Felix Rosenqvist, Colton Herta is here. He'll join us here momentarily.